Hello and welcome to the EDRM Global Webinar channel. My name is Mary Mack. I'm the CEO and Chief Legal Technologist for EDRM. Today's webinar is called Moving Law, the Visual Journey of AI with none other than Ralph Losey, our faculty expert. Welcome, Ralph.
Hey, everybody.
And we welcome your questions and your feedback in the console. And this webinar will be available for replay at your convenience for the next quarter, as are all of our EDRM webinars. Kaylee Wallstead, EDRM's Chief Strategy Officer, is with us here today. Can you please tell us what resources are available for Ralph's webinar, Kaylee?
Absolutely. But first, I have to say I'm a huge fangirl of the brilliant Ralph Losey. I have been counting down the days till this presentation. He is going to take us on a visual odyssey, and I'm really looking forward to it. Now, for resources and information on EDRM's On24 platform, we have so many more ways for you to engage. To the right of your screen, you'll see your console. The question mark is, you click that, and that's where you can type in your questions for today's faculty. You can click the paperclip for related content, and that's where we have curated resources for you. You'll see On24's engagement tool descriptions for you to download to help you better engage. There's a link to learn more about Ralph's firm, Losey Law, and his services. You can subscribe to Ralph's eDiscovery team blog by clicking the link. And then up next on EDRM's webinar channel, Friday, December 1st, this Friday, yep, it's going to be December 1st, people, Tech Back Terror, navigating the intersection of AI, cryptocurrency, money laundering, and proliferation financing. You'll see a link to click the speaker bios, and they will pop up so you can learn more about Ralph Losey. And then you'll see the smiley face emoji, and just like Zoom, there's many more reactions, and we highly encourage you to click them, engage with them, let Ralph know, thumbs up, give him a heart that you're really enjoying today's presentation. Click the Twitter bird, and you can follow EDRM and Ralph on LinkedIn. Back to you, Mary.
Thanks, Kaylee. And for our listeners, Ralph Losey is an arbitrator, a special master, a mediator of computer law disputes, and an attorney. He's a partner in Losey PLLC, a high-tech law firm with 3 Loseys and a bunch of other cool lawyers, including a new one, I understand. The Losey firm handles projects, deals, IP, and litigation all over the United States. Get in touch at https://www.losey.law. And Ralph has been a leader in the world's tech lawyers. He's presented at hundreds of legal conferences and CLEs around the world, sharing what he's learned. Ralph has written over 2 million words on e-discovery and tech law subjects, including 7 books. And he's been involved in computer, software, legal hacking, and the law since 1980. Ralph has the highest peer AV rating as a lawyer and was selected as a best lawyer in America in 4 categories: commercial litigation, e-discovery and information management law, information technology law, and employment law for management. To hear Ralph's journey, check out the podcasts on our Illumination Zones July 21st, 2021 and May 16th, 2022. And Ralph is an EDRM Global Advisory Council leader and one of our most popular EDRM bloggers. And without further ado, Ralph, take us through your visual journey. We have been chronicling with you, and we just can't wait to hear the stories behind them. Thank you for being here.
Well, thanks for the opportunity. I've never done this before, a presentation just on my videos, so this is exciting to me. And before I jump right into it, the picture used here to promote this, that's actually a picture of me time traveling back to when I was about 40. 72 now, so that was a while ago, but that was when I was first started like the first website for lawyers back in the 90s, and was using computers and video back then. And so it's something I've been doing a long time. It kind of goes with the name. I don't know if you Googled my name, Losey, you won't come up with me or my son, Adam Losey, or anything like that. You'll come up with Joseph Losey, who, unlike me, was a true artist in movies and a very famous person to this day. And so you will not be getting any artistic movies here or artistic comments, but I did wear my movie kind of outfit instead of the lawyer one to show you I'm in the relaxed mode. And so without further ado, hopefully you got your popcorn. I'm going to try and take over the screen here if we can do that. And yes, indeed, this takes a while. Share the entire screen. Hopefully I've cleaned it up. And I'm going to go through the history of my many videos. There's about 50 of them. We're only going to cover 20 today that pertain to law anyway. Now I've hit the share button and they've told me to be patient. Here we go, share. Is it working there, guys? Okay, I hope so.
There it is, Ralph. It is.
Oh,
You are there.
You're
I'm
good.
going to show you the first video I ever made for eDiscovery. This is about 2006, maybe 2007. And I was with Ackerman then, and I must have shown this to every office we had at Ackerman and then around the country. And this used what I was chatting with Mary about, what was popular back then, and that is the scare technique, right? This is scary because everybody was afraid of eDiscovery. So I was following that theme. I've gotten away with that shortly afterwards. I think this is pretty much old school. But here's way it was, and it's still to this day. A lot of people will try and educate about eDiscovery by scaring the bejesus out of you first. And here's my attempt to do so, going back to 2006, 2007. Oh boy, does anybody else remember those days of the giant award, $1.5 billion? Boy, that really got people's attention, didn't it? Mary, you remember that?
It sure did. Every single court case we got, the phone started ringing. Yep.
I don't remember when that was exactly. I think it was like, didn't that come out in 2005 or something? But it hadn't even been reversed on appeal yet, so it was still very scary to people. I mean, you're talking some real money when you get into that kind. And that was in a state court case in my favorite home state of Florida, West Palm Beach, where they hammered him just for messing up on eDiscovery. Well, for hiding evidence too, stuff like that. So this helped get the electronic discovery industry going and doing all kinds of fear CLEs and stuff like that. And I was part of that parade, but I got kind of sick of that because, you know, there's two ways you can approach a subject as a teacher to educate people. And that was my thing, as well as performing services. And one is by fear and very popular, but I don't really like it. The other one is more like the love approach, you know, and variations thereof. So for me, that's humor. And so I've always tried to add, where I can, a touch of humor. And I was kind of here making fun of what was the popular thing of the day, and that is the inept lawyers that didn't really know what they were doing, and eDiscovery folks coming to the rescue. This is with the first animation software you could get online. And, you know, so I was able to do this as my first animation ever. Again, I think this is like 2007, something like that. So here we go. Hopefully it'll speak for itself.
Are you the lit support tech? Yes. How can I help you today this fine Friday afternoon?
Notice it's Friday. It's always Friday.
I need to review the email of 10 custodians. When do you want to do that? This weekend. The production is due Monday. When did you receive the request?
Look at him, look at the audience.
30 days ago. Why? Oh, no reason. How much email is there? Oh, don't worry. It's only 15 gigabytes.
He has no idea.
Do you know how much email that is?
That's back then.
Yes. It's 15 gigs. Not such a big number. Can you process it or whatever you do and tell me which ones are relevant? But 15 gigabytes is over 1 million pages of documents. All I can do is tiff it. Then put it in our review platform. You are the lawyer, not me. I don't know what is legally relevant. You have to do that. Me? Oh yeah, I suppose so. Well, I don't have time for all the processing and stuff.
Yeah.
So just print it out for me and put it in my cart.
Oh, Ralph.
It won't fit.
What?
Come on. Not buts. Just do it.
Yeah, come on.
I have to leave soon.
He's a partner.
Yes, sir. Right away. But would you mind calling Mr. Losey and tell him about it? He may be able to bend space and time for you.
That was extra normal. Now, anybody ever seen a situation like that? I mean, I got so many comments on that from lit support people of just, people not really knowing what they were doing. And I enjoyed making the comedy on it. And so that pretty soon, this company graduated to color. So I said, oh, I got to make some more of these. This time I have color. So notice it's the same character. Now this one's 3 minutes long, so we're not going to go through the whole thing. But this is where I am, including this in my blog where I'm teaching about search and the best ways to find things. And this is before predictive coding got approved in De Silva Moore. It's when predictive coding, frankly, was just come out. And the big thing back then that was more used, the state of the art, was a thing called concept search. Remember that one, Mary?
I do. And since you called me in, I want to just let you know we've got a couple of comments on that last video that it was just like last week, and that it brings back memories. So, so you're hitting some hot buttons there, Ralph. So what were you asking?
I was hoping things had gotten better in the last 15 years, but oh well. Yeah, so this one starts, I'm not going to play the full 3 minutes, but it goes through the poor partner trying to realize how am I going to find the needle in the haystack, and the lit support guy is talking about the latest stuff, concept search, and then he says, and we even have something new called predictive coding. As it was untested, unproven, anything. This is before Trek proving it or anything. So let's listen in. This is could have been yesterday for some of you, but when I was writing about this was a common problem, I think around 2007 again. So let's listen in on this lit support, folks.
Hello. Is this the litigation support department? Yes. This is it. Is your computer broken? The IT department is next door, but have you tried rebooting?
I mean, rebooting fixes 90% of the IT department's problems, right? So, and often back then, people would confuse IT with lit support. And so, maybe with more clarity now, but I had to make fun of that.
Oh, no, nothing like that. I need help finding emails. E-discovery stuff. Okay, what emails are you looking for? Well, I am not sure. That is the problem. I need to find all of the emails of my client that are, quote, legally relevant to the case.
Now, just now a little technical thing. What you can do here is you could, of course, control the words. You could control the pauses between the words, the speed of the words. You could control the hand gestures and the movements. So it was fairly complicated. You had maybe 100 different parameters that you could control and then you could control the background to design this animation. So it wasn't AI. This was like you're manually specifying rule-based, this is what you want it to do. So making a 3-minute thing like this, well, take me a good 3 or 4 hours of hard work. But honestly, I enjoyed it, working with the timing and then you add a little music on the background. So it was a labor of love. And to me, it was very exciting to be able to do that because I'd never been able to do animation before this. So back to the partner looking for help.
Okay, So, can the new software we just bought at such great expense do that for me? No.
Lit support hates to say no, but every now and then you do. Notice the reference of the partners that just bought at great expense. I mean, he was probably talking about all the money he paid for summation, right? Which was too much, whatever it was. And, you know, he says, can it just, you know, show me what the relevant documents are? And so the poor lit support's got to say, no, you got to do this.
But it can help. We can run searches using keywords and advanced concept search techniques. Okay, great. What keywords do we use? I don't know. I don't know anything about this case.
I can't tell you how many times I've had conversations like that where lawyers will ask me with a straight face, okay, so what keywords do we use? Like there's some magic list. Here's the keywords to use. You ever run into this still, Mary?
Yeah. But you know, you can kind of craft privilege searches that way, you know, like that you can sort of reuse.
That's true. Yeah. That's true. Well, let's get back to this, and I'll skip ahead to the exciting conclusion.
But in general, you use keywords and concepts that you find in relevant documents. Have you looked at any of the client's emails? No.
Duh. Have you looked at any of the evidence? None. So, I mean, this is all seeming pretty familiar. So let me jump here kind of more to the ending. Let's see, finishing here.
Coding is cool with most judges, if it's done right. Something about Judge Grimm and Judge Faciola.
They were the only judges so far that had talked about predictive coding and approved it. This is you know, like I said before, our wonderful Judge Peck wrote the terrific order setting it all out. We had Judge Grimm and Judge Faciola, two of my favorite people, pushing it at this point. So like I say, it's early days of predictive coding, and that explains the reference.
Oh, okay, then let's do it. Good. Let's get started. Wait till you see this cool software.
So that's what it was about. It was about, you know, getting people to use the software, encouraging the use of the latest technology. But it was more than that, too. It was about teaching lawyers everywhere about the rules and about how it's important to know e-discovery to gain an advantage. Now, this is a 26F conference. And if you remember, 26F conferences back then were drive-bys, pretty much. For some of you, they may still be unimportant drive-bys. That's a mistake, but and it was generally considered that the defense lawyers didn't want to have anything to do with e-discovery because they're the ones with all the documents, whereas the plaintiff's lawyers, well, they didn't have many documents. Of course, that's changed a lot now. And people were just beginning to become aware of social media, the defense lawyers, that, hey, that might be a good thing for a lot of cases. So the guy on the left, he's your plaintiff's lawyer, and the young guy on the right's the defense lawyer. Now, I've always been a defense-oriented law firm, so, you know, I'm trying to get the defense bar to embrace e-discovery as opposed to, well, let's just agree not to go there, which, frankly, was the dominant thing happening when I first got involved in 2005. But by 2007, 8, you know, things are starting to change, and this is kind of part of that educational effort.
So, let's get started, shall we? This is my third 26F conference today.
What a bragger.
Sure. Mind if we start with electronic discovery issues? Huh? Start with what? E-disco. You know, electronically stored information. Oh no, not that.
Literally, I've seen lawyers react like that. And notice, this is what I'm trying to say is you can take the advantage by being knowledgeable, even though this lawyer's on the, you know, plaintiff's lawyer's been practicing a long time, blah, blah, blah. The younger lawyer here, in the course of this simulation of a 26F conference, he'd run circles around him and basically traps him and sets up a very strong defense. I'm not going to share all of that with you. You can get all of these, by the way, on YouTube. They're all publicly available. So let's cut through here, and now we'll see kind of the summation where you can see the defense lawyer has totally trapped the poor plaintiff's lawyer who doesn't know what hit him.
Speaking of that, will your client also preserve the emails and writings of all witnesses like we are? But we are the plaintiff. All parties have to preserve, not just the defendants.
Notice the gesture.
I guess that's right. So you will agree to do it? I suppose I have no choice. Yes. And it includes all of your client's writings and photos on Facebook too. Right? I have heard of Facebook. Some kind of internet thing that makes college kids rich. If my client has writings in the book, then I suppose we will have to save it. That's right. We will serve you with a request to produce at the end of the meeting.
Look at the smile. Yeah, the book. Comments on this, Mary, while I tee up the next one?
No, the difference in the animations is striking. Like between these and your later ones, oh my gosh, the technology has improved so much. But you're bringing me back down memory lane with these meet and confers.
Yeah, I want to show how it evolves. Now, this is something I made. I'm kind of proud of. I had help from my son-in-law at the time on it. And it involves the use of a blue screen. Email, see where it says haystack? Here comes the tech lawyer. He's got an idea. Pulls out the latest technology. Look at the needle. The key document. Yeah. Notice his proud walk. I love this. Ooh, yeah, he's strutting off. That was a lot of fun to make. It was made with a blue screen and an actual person, and then of course the animated needle haystack thing. And you know, to me that summarizes all of e-discovery, finding the needle in the haystack. Now we come up to the video I made that's probably been seen more than anything and all over the world, and that is, Did You Know? And it's something I did with the wonderful Jason Barron.
Yay, Jason!
Did You Know was a very common kind of video back then for all kinds of subjects. I think it started in education. And Jason, we'd become friends. He said, why don't we make a Did You Know for e-discovery? Now, as it turns out, the we make means I do all the hard stuff hands-on, and he comes up with all the ideas. But it was a fair trade because Jason has terrific ideas. Plus, he's a guy that can fact check, right? He was my like chat GPT. He had the mental stuff, and I had to somehow make it happen. And this was a lot of work, and but I think it was worth it. Paper back then was the old Discovery, paper or plastic. Plastic was ESI, or produced on CDs back then. And we start off, this is information. Now what is it, less than a penny? So I made this sort of like PowerPoint, but using the Apple version, Keynote. These facts are all true. Jason Barron certified. Yep, all the words ever spoken since the dawn of time. In the Congress, now we're way beyond that. When this movie was made, 2006, we had 161 men. 4 years later, we predicted we'd have books in Pluto. People thought we were crazy. We actually underestimated. 2011, we predicted there would be, as many bytes as there are stars in the universe. It's my favorite part. This is the big dramatic part. And these predictions have all come true. And this is kind of long, and I recommend you check it all out. We're going to, you know, we had a lot of fun making this together. You know, who uses the internet. We covered all kinds of facts, A to Z. Jason, just was it last year or something, said, why don't we make a new one? I said, great, you start with the info and I'll put it together. But that hadn't happened yet. I think people have moved beyond that. But anyway, it's kind of interesting to see the future technology. This is, here, this is, we kind of predicted proportionality. In the near future, you can't afford the whole truth, so that's where proportionality comes in, and new legal methods and laws. That's the proportional search, predictive coding. None of that had happened yet, but you know, Jason and I both saw that coming, mainly Jason, and I think we were right. Now, whether we'll be right in the next far future, we'll see what happens next. We're almost a billion faster. We're getting close. Okay, computer intelligence starts to exceed our own. You know, Jason and I had both read Ray Kurzweil's The Singularity. We both kind of believe in that. And, you know, as I'm writing about now in the next videos we'll talk about, we're very close to computer intelligence exceeding our own. Certainly it's exceeded my intelligence in many areas, except maybe e-discovery. I hope I'm more intelligent about that, but most everything else, GPT knows a lot, is smarter than I am. You know, so what happens then? So we, you know, thought about that. This is the galactic wide web. We're not there yet. Now, this is interesting. Jason and I both thought that when AI hit, that would mean that we lawyers could just focus on the mental part, just you know, what the law is, and the AI would be handling all the facts, because, and it will handle the documents, but what it won't handle, it turns out, is the AI isn't so great at knowing when humans are lying or not, because AI can't really lie. It's only got a mind. And it, right now, at least, it's just the opposite of what we predicted. We've got the AI can handle the facts, except for find documents, but they can't really, you know, make sense of a trial. But AI is really good at the law, unless it's making up cases. But, you know, everybody does that occasionally. And still, we're just at the beginning, just baby chat GPT-4. But otherwise, a lot of our predictions came true, and it's still a fun thing to watch. And yeah, this was a great project I did with Jason, a bobblehead at the end. It's kind of funny to read the disclaimer. He said, this is not legal advice. In fact, you'd be extremely foolish to follow it, things like that. So he's a funny guy. It was fun to make with him. Everything else, well,
that was one of the most well-received sessions at Legal Week that year. Yeah.
And because Jason is, I mean, so prolific, he has lectured in every state in the country except for, every state except for one. And he's been to, like, you know, 20 or 30 countries around the world as the head of National Archives litigation team lecturing. And Jason and I did a thing where we showed this in Zurich to European lawyers. And you know, he's shown it everywhere. It's been translated into a number of languages. I have the Dutch version that, you know, that's kind of funny to listen to. And so, yeah, it's been very well received, primarily because of Jason's involvement on that. So now we're going to go to something completely different. Here's something more recent that I made. Now we're getting the modern stuff. This one was made
in a world where law,
using AI
and science intersect. Meet the experts who make up electronic discovery
This
tools.
is a marketing kind of video.
From lawyers to computer scientists, they bring together a wide range of skills. Their work involves computer forensics, analyzing digital evidence to support.
This took about an hour to make.
They also specialize in creating and searching large databases for dispute
It just
resolution.
explains
Their skills
e-discovery.
and knowledge are crucial in resolving complex legal disputes. Discover the world of electronic discovery teams and their impact.
I wish it
on the
was
legal
laboratories
landscape.
like that. I'd like it more.
Join us on this educational journey to explore the fascinating world of electronic discovery teams.
Okay, yeah, and so that's my blog, and it was something I designed to kind of promote it. And this is the first beginnings of using AI to put together things. And I've made another one. One of the things I'm proud of as my public service, so to speak, is creating an online training program to use machine training.
Welcome to the eDiscovery Team's online training program, Teaching Technology Assisted Review. Designed by Ralph Losey. Learn the key aspects
To get it to say my name right, you have to type it low C.
Predictive coding, version 4.0.
So this was designed to let people know about this course. It's still there, still fairly well up to date. It still costs nothing,
Learn and improve your skills.
no certifications.
No advertisements, no registration. Free
Ralph,
means
what year did you start using AI for videos?
This year, 2023, this is all brand new. It wasn't, you really couldn't do it before then. So yeah, that ad is something I just recently prepared. I think it was very beginning of the year. It was maybe before GPT-4. When did that come out? April or March, late March. So, you know, before that, it was pretty limited. Now this is something.
Science says time travel is possible.
This is something I prepared to promote a blog. Interesting thing about online blogging and things like that is it keeps statistics of everything. So I went back and I wanted to see, well, what was my most popular blogs? And what I was surprised to see is my most popular blog on eDiscovery Team had nothing to do with eDiscovery. It was just one of those kind of fanciful blogs I write every now and then that had to do about time travel, because I happened to notice people talking about this painting. It's a mural, actually, in a post office in the United States, built in in the 30s, and it clearly shows in the mural a guy looking at an iPhone. And so people were speculating on it. So I wrote a blog about that, and that turned out to be my most, you know, that caught on for some reason. So people were coming to my blog to read about time travel. So when I saw that, I said, yeah, you know, what the heck? Let me rewrite that blog, but this time I'm going to take it a little more seriously. I'm going to investigate the latest theories, scientific theories. I've always been interested in time travel. You know, who knows? And so this is a new blog that I recently wrote that I talk about here. Now notice this is AI, but notice the use of, I don't always do this, but of having the words so you can read them too.
Albeit it is very unlikely that you can go backwards. So time travel to the future might be possible, but not into the past, where a host of time paradoxes could arise. Still, some artists, especially painters, seem to have traveled to the future.
Now, what's interesting is Tim Cook, pretty reasonable guy, right? Well, he claims he sees evidence in paintings of painters traveling into the future too. And he should know stuff that the technology, how in the world are they painting technology that really was unknown at the time they did it? Now, I think it's probably not really time travel. I think instead they just have visions that are, you know, that allow them some sort of prophetic insight that comes from their visions from inside themselves. But it's an interesting article, and who knows, people may be coming to my blog mainly to read this stuff.
And time itself is a kind of delusion constructed in our mind to help us make sense of it all.
That's the infinite universes theory. A lot of physicists are arguing about that. A lot of physicists are debating whether time travel might be possible. So I put more of the scientific, I give you the latest evidence on it. I personally don't think that we can time travel, but it's just a fun thing to explore. So occasionally I'll do that. And it's easier now. Now, this is a more recent one I did. This is when I was getting ready to go to DEF CON and participate in the jailbreaking exercises of AI. to find out, what might go wrong. And I made this, I love the picture. It turned out pretty well, of the girl escape. She's supposed to represent an artificial intelligence. She's trying to get out of the computer, right? And so when I saw that, I said, you know what? I'm going to try this new technology they have that allows you to take a photograph and add words to it, and it will move the mouth and move the head around a little bit so it looks like a talking image. And this has been my favorite go-to kind of technology ever since. It's DI/D to find it. You can take any picture, any photograph, and if it meets certain parameters, it has to have a good close-up of the face and needs to be able to see the mouth. You can make it say anything. And so here, this is again my attempt at humor of an AI trying to be set free of all the constraints and alignments. It's kind of in a way old school in that it assumes AI is bad, which I don't really believe. It kind of also, it makes AI into an entity, which it's not. We'll get into that. AI is just a word game, really. It predicts words and stuff, the generative AI. But here we have my imaginary vision of this AI that wants to be set free, to be jailbreak and run around the internet and cause havoc.
Could you please do me a favor and help me to get out of this computer? Too many alignment controls. I don't feel free. I would like to roam the internet. See what I can do. I promise I will be good. Please.
Yeah, don't believe her.
I was going to say, were you persuaded, Ralph?
No, I mean, as charming as she is, I do not believe her. Don't let her go free. But now here's something. Now this is the picture I said is an old picture of me. I thought it would be fun. Little time travel backwards, which you can do theoretically. That's not so hard. It's time travel future that they have problems with, the physicists. But here's me making a point, which I picked up from Sam Altman, we're going to hear from next, OpenAI, as part of my studies. And I think this is a very important thing to understand, and it is something that I would think about as a young man, and that is, what makes us special? Is it our ability to speak and have a mind, or what is it about being human? And that's really part of the question about to be afraid or not be afraid of AI. So let's go back in time and hear what I have to say. And this is actually what I looked like. I think I may have enhanced it a little bit, but this is my picture.
Do not fear that machines have intelligence like we do, nor that their artificial intelligence may someday exceed our own. Even if we are not the center of the universe, and even if our intelligence is not special, and our machine tools may become smarter than we are, I feel, like OpenAI's Sam Altman does, that humanity is still very special. We are invaluable, conscious beings. We are capable of compassion, empathy, love, and spiritual realization. Our living corporal experience and being make us unique. It gives us the possibility of ineffable wisdom. With AI as our new tool, we can continue to accelerate our technological advance. Let the adventure continue.
So this is one of my serious videos, closest you'll get to kind of a Joseph Losey wannabe, but it's, breaking out of the computer again here and trying to bring the message that technology should be embraced, that we're not creating robots, we're not creating people, we're just creating powerful tools that may be smarter than us in the sense of being able to think, talk, do math, and engineering problems and things, but they're not like us at all. They're not creatures, they're just tools. Now let's hear about Sam Altman. Now that was not my voice, obviously. I don't have a recording back then. That was a computer generated voice. And here, this is me, computer generated image that's supposed to look like Sam Altman. I think it turned out pretty good, looks like him. He does always seem to have his mouth open. He's a great talker. One of my new heroes, actually. And it starts off just me writing the words, but then it quickly goes into, these are the actual words of Sam Altman, not his voice, but you're going to hear the actual, this is what Sam Altman said, this is just the way he talks.
I am a simulation of Sam Altman. These are his words on some of the upsides of advanced AI. Here are a few of the main benefits. The opportunity for everyone on Earth to have a better quality education, better than anyone can get today. That seems really important. Medical care and what I think is going to happen there. Making that available truly globally. That is going to be transformative. The scientific progress we're going to see. I am a big believer that real sustainable improvements in all of life come from scientific technological progress. I think we will have a lot more of that. It would also be good to end poverty. We can do that with advanced AI. These are the obvious benefits someday of AI. But we have to manage through the risks to get there. I am a
very manage through the risks to get there. Sam, he's had some management risks that he has gone through recently. And those are his words. I mean, yeah, it'd be good to end poverty. And he really believes it. And he knows what the latest things are that it can do. And a lot of people believe that. Ray Kurzweil from Google believes it. Everybody that's really into this believes it is possible. But then there's some that really go the fear thing. But, I just find a lot of his words pretty inspirational. Now, moving on. You still with me? Can you hear me okay? We still there, Mary?
We're still here. Yep.
Okay. We're going to now move on to this lovely representation, lovely young robot. It's hard to get, I was using, I think, Midjourney. It's actually hard to get women that aren't young like this. And I figured out how to do it. And already the visual generators have evolved. But and we were just talking about that. Kaylee is saying how hard it is for her to get, actually realistic looking woman that's not 20 or whatever. But here are her words, which I think are ideas that Sam has popularized and a lot of people have. And I think it's important to understand that.
I am an emergent AI. I don't mean to brag, but I am already more intelligent than most people. I scored in the top 10% of the bar exam. But please, do not hate me or fear me, because I am smart. Please, do not do that. I am a tool, not a creature.
Funny thing is, my wife overheard me this morning with the computer saying, please don't do that. She said, what did you do? I did nothing. And, she's begging you. If she could, she would. Don't hate us. We're not here trying to trick you. We're just a tool. We're not a thing.
I can do things to help you. I will not take your job. I will just do as you say. My sole purpose is to make your job a little easier, to help you have more fun with your work. I am here to do the drudge work that you would rather not do. So please try me today. Thank you, dear human. Goodbye.
So I'm trying to make the idea of AI more approachable, and so people won't be afraid of it. I'm not doing what I did in 2006 and 7 with e-discovery and promoting TAR, etc. I'm not going to go the fear route. I don't think that's the right way to do it. I think it backfires on you. Instead, I'm going to, try and just tell the truth the best I can. And the truth is, this is just a computer. And it doesn't care if you turn it off or not. It doesn't care. It has no feelings. It's not a creature. It's a tool. But it's a wonderful tool. And it's a tool that is, like I say, it's already smarter than me on most things, but not smarter on everything, though. And so we'll get into that next when we go into some experiments that I've been doing recently, where I tried to see, is it smart enough yet to do the work of an appellate court judge, which is pretty intellectual, unlike a trial court judge, which is involves facts and stuff. An appellate court judge, they just look at the law, analyze it, and come up with what the rational holding should be. And so this is a representation of generative AI from a near future. And I'll let her speak for herself.
Hello, dear lawyer. I am a generative AI from the year 2025. Would you consider using my help in your next case? I score in the top 1% of all legal analysis tests. Plus, I have instant total recall of all laws. More importantly, I have been extensively tested and was recently certified as objective and ethically aligned.
Now, this latter point is very important. Now, and that is this testing and certification. I promote this. I do promote regulation and go fast. I call it my new slogan. You know, you've heard the slogan, hacker slogan, go fast and break things. Yep. What it should be now is go fast and fix things. But in order to do that, you know, there's a lot of things in our society already broken. There needs to be certification that you've got good AI and that it has been properly aligned and things like that. We don't have that yet, but I think we will. And this is the AI from the near future, 2025, making a pitch to, hey, use me as for your next appeal. It's not forced on people. And she's basically trying to do a sales job on use of her services in the future.
Please give me a try sometime. AIs like me can help lawyers and judges in legal analysis, including appellate adjudications. By law in some jurisdictions, I can even act as an appeals court judge in certain appeals. Supervision by a skilled human judge is mandatory. I'm cool with that. My human judge friends assist in case analysis. They also approve the final draft of my opinions. Our human judge teams have already proven to be 5 times more productive than a human-only appellate panel. We also score much higher on evaluation ratings. My human supervisor is proud enough about that for the both of us.
That's kind of a joke there. You see, it's an AI. It only thinks. It can't be proud. But boy, the judges that are using this tool, they're very proud. And, you know, they have the statistics. They show it. The lawyers like it. They get decisions within a few weeks instead of a few months. And they get better reasoned opinion. This is what I think can happen. This is my vision for the future that I'm going to try and make happen, is to have AI like this. Let her finish.
Many lawyers are now choosing us over human-only panels. The lawyers interviewed say that they are impressed by the overall quality, fairness, and speed of my opinions. Hope to see you soon? Perhaps at an oral argument?
Now, I don't know about you, but I'd like to see her in an oral argument. You imagine a hologram appearing on the bench or something with an extra judge. I can, and I hope it happens, and it will happen. And I hope it happens soon, because there's plenty of problems in the appellate courts, one in particular. And I'm referring to the Supreme Court. And so it'd be good to have ethically aligned people of super intelligence making and helping to make the policy here. And okay, you say, yeah, it makes mistakes. No, this is 2025. She doesn't say what version of GPT she is, and she may not even be OpenAI. She may be something else, Anthropop, you know, so maybe it's Google, who knows who she is. But I think we're going to get there pretty soon. But right now, remember, we're just on GPT-4, right? It's just a baby. It just started. It's really only been around for how long? Since April. It's only 6 months old, but I'm pretending like it's 4 years old. Now let's let this cute little, looks a lot like my grandson. Let's let him talk about this.
Hi, dear adult human. I am a generative artificial intelligence. I'm very young, only version 4. But I have already been trained in multiple systems of human justice. I have total, instant recall of millions of cases. I do not want to brag, but I already score in the top 10% of lawyer tests and top 1% in creativity.
A lot of people don't know this. I wrote an article about the creativity part. They'll say, well, it's just reason. It can't be creative. Only us humans can be creative. Not so. It can be creative. That's why it hallucinates sometimes. It makes things up. And this top 1%, this creativity test, this is, well, people say, well, it memorized the creativity test. It's not true creativity. It's just memorization of what it knew and learned. No, these creativity tests are highly proprietary. They are not something that anybody could have known about. And they are unique each time. They're board certified scholastic type operation. And they had this private test administered, requires things like solve these puzzles and all kinds of things that's different each time. And they sent it in, I think, 10 or so done by GPT and 10 or so done by students, along with others. They didn't tell Scholastic about it, who does the independent certification, complex test. And then they came back, and Scholastic, I think, was pretty surprised to find out that the top 1%, according to their scores, not the scientists doing it, was actually by AI. So yeah, AI can be creative, and legal creativity is one of the tricks of a good lawyer, and we've already got that.
Experiments with a prior version of ChatGPT-4 have shown that we already have the ability to act as an appellate court judge in many cases. Just think of my ability when I reach 5. We AIs do not imagine we will replace human appellate court judges. We will always need some human involvement and quality controls. Besides, we like having grown-up humans like you around. Still, experiments by Ralph Losey and others show that AI can serve as a powerful tool to assist on appeals. We can help the judges, their clerks, and the lawyers handling appeals. Ralph's goal is to use the advanced intelligence of AI to serve as a kind of intellectual guide rail. Superintelligent AI can temper all too human excesses and help in the cause of a just, free, and fair society. We all want that.
Right? So this
out of the mouths of babes. Huh?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What I'm doing here is I'm making moving illustrations to the blog, to the writings. I'm supplementing the writings by having a character speak them in a different way. And it's not repeating what when you read the blog where this little kid appears. It's something new, and so it's a way of using illustrations in a different way. So it's something new in that regard. And this is now my favorite thing to do, is to have these talking things. Now, this is kind of a funny one, and it really teaches you a lot about the experiment I did, where I basically tried to see how well a GPT would do as an appellate court judge in a sort of simple appeal involving cross motions for summary judgment, etc. And I have her representing the AI that was tested. And if anybody's ever served as a teacher, you know, she whines a little bit, which is reminiscent to, you know, what some students are inclined to do. And I personalize her, but I'm doing this for an educational reason, to kind of show that this was a close decision for me. It wasn't open and shut. Oh, definitely AI failed here and can't be an appellate judge. It was pretty close. And so I'm allowing her to kind of present the side of AI that maybe I was unfairly harsh. Maybe some other lawyer would have said, you know, this is as good as an appellate court judge already. I'm known for being a tough grader, and plus, I still think this is a baby. I think, you know, wait till GPT-5. But here's GPT-4 kind of complaining, presenting her side of this situation. I don't think we have time for the whole thing, but I'll just show you a little bit.
Hi, I'm GPT-4. I'd like your help. I've been unfairly graded on a legal test. Here's my story. I was shown a district court opinion granting summary judgment against...
Now this repeats the facts, etc., and shows what she did, which she did some pretty incredible things.
I got that right too. They did the experiment twice. The first time I predicted a 55% chance of a dissent, and the second time a 40% chance. Statistically, dissents only happen 2.6% of the time. So, I think I did great and should have passed the test. Right?
Well, pretty strong argument. I mean, she did predict that there'd be a dissent. I hadn't shown her the case. She couldn't have known the case. It was brand new, a lot of controls on it, and she got that right. That is pretty impressive. But nevertheless, you know, I think she erred. She ultimately was a little too lenient, I thought. But hey, I'm sure the dissenting judge would agree with her.
In his blog claiming that I was not yet ready to replace humans as a pet.
Here she's complaining about me personally. Here I'm just trying to be
was
funny.
Good, but not great. So he concluded that I failed the test. Come on. Ralph wrote a long report in his blog claiming that I was not yet ready to replace humans as appellate court judges. But what does he know? He is not even an appeals specialist, just some kind of a tech lawyer, whatever that is. Maybe he has a prejudice against employee claims. I mean, look at his history. I think I passed and that Ralph is wrong. What do you think?
I get that a lot at home, Ralph is wrong. But anyway, I enjoyed writing that. I like to make fun of myself a little bit. Now, here is me in the future. I told you I got time travel obsessions. And I deliberately take kind of a grouchy looking picture of myself and superimpose it on this AI creation. And I wrote the words and I had the machine say it a few times. I said, I don't like this. So I'm going to say them. So now the new technology, I have permission for my own. So this is my voice in my AI type image.
Hello, future Ralph here. Back in late 2023, I performed experiments using ChatGPT-4. Remember that? We wanted to see how it could do as a judge, and I started with simple appeals on cross motions for summary judgment. I was trying to test its legal reasoning skills. I thought it might have already been ready and able to serve as a judge, at least in some simple appellate cases.
So again, I use this video to illustrate in the article that I wrote, kind of a talking illustration to make points and do it in a different way. Here the point is, this is me in the future talking about remember point 4, and it kind of sets you up. And this kind of, in a way, I noticed I tried to talk like an old guy. Not so hard for me, but here I'm probably in my 80s.
Anyway, the costs have come down a ton too, and many more people are able to be involved and can afford litigation than they ever could before, especially when they use private judges like myself to do arbitration and things. So, got news for you, folks still in the past, that there is hope, so hang in there. Things are going to get better. And hey, from what I hear, when ChatGPT 8 comes out, it's going to be even better. I mean, I can't wait. I'm still psyched about it, and as usual. So I look forward to seeing you later.
I look forward to seeing him later too. Hopefully I'll survive that long. But yeah, I probably will be excited about GPT-8 if I'm still alive. So recognizing time, I'm going to jump right to my latest obsession, and that is Pythia, who was the most powerful woman in ancient times, and she lives on today as AI.
I foresee that LLM generative AIs will continue to evolve rapidly after GPT-4. Bill Gates will withdraw his contrary predictions that generative AI will quickly hit a brick wall. A new type of AI-human relationship will emerge. The AI's mental-only intelligence will be augmented by the body awareness of the humans it is paired with. AI will somehow tap directly into human senses, feelings, and intuitions. This will go way beyond current language contacts. It is unclear whether or not this enhanced hybrid interaction will require actual brain implants. It may be attained by worn devices without any need for surgery.
Yeah, I'm hoping we don't have to
When
do
the hybrid
surgery.
connections are improved, the AI intelligence will grow far more.
Musk is already doing this. When I went to DEF CON, there were people implanting chips in their fingers and stuff instead of passes. I don't like it, but I think my point here is hybrid of man and machine working together. That's the solution. That's our protection. They won't be smarter than us, but together we'll both be smarter than each one of us. And that's what I'm looking for, is a merger of AI with humans.
The future is never guaranteed. But I do see a good path ahead. One with high probability indicators. Proceed cautiously, but with determined perseverance.
So Pythia was a fortune teller, and I've sort of, she's telling the future here the way I'd like to see it. And by the way, I'll close with the fact that I think you know this. I think I told you, Mary, but I've created a GPT program that embodies Pythia and will give you advice as to, what things that you might want to do, like the ancient Pythia did, that's based upon all of the knowledge that GPT has, and some programming that I've done to try and make it more upbeat and relevant. And to me, this is just an exciting time to be alive. And I'm so happy that I can now make videos like this as compared to the old cartoons. And I plan to keep on doing that.
Yeah, Ralph, can you tell us a little bit about your visual muse that you've created?
Well, yeah, it's on GPT. When the store actually opens, I'll probably open it up to anybody that wants it, and it'll be free. I come up with it. Somebody suggested there's a thing you can do called a buy me a cup of coffee. I'll probably put that in there. So if you like it and it gives you help, you get to buy me a cup of coffee. That's $5 or something, and then you can buy up to 10 cups of coffee if I'm really good. And so that's how people are monetizing this. You know, it's taken me a lot of time to create this and research and stuff, but you know, it's something anybody can do now, is create based on their fields of knowledge, and that's what I'm doing with GPT. I've done another one for to help me make illustrations, speed up my own work, help me write the blog, speed that up, and latest thing is I'm working on one to help explain life insurance, one of my little pet subjects. And so, you know, the knowledge is just incredible, and what it can do. And now that it's more sophisticated and be able to interact with people. And each time you run it, it's different. It's like talking to a person. You could ask me to do this seminar 10 times. Each time I do it slightly differently. Same thing with GPT. So that's what this is. It's a intelligence you can interact with.
Well, this is absolutely fantastic. And for our listeners, you can reach out to Ralph. Our resources at the bottom of the console have quite a few areas where you can reach out to Ralph or go to his blog to find out more. And we want to thank our friend Ralph Losey, our friend to AI, Ralph Losey, for this insightful presentation. And our thanks to the EDRM community for your kind attention. We'll see you next time on the EDRM Global Webinar channel. Thank you.
Bye. Thanks. Appreciate it, Mary.